Have you made a decision?
Yes, I've accepted it and written some of my thoughts back to the FA, and we'll wait and see.
Reluctantly accepted it?
Just accepted it. I spoke about it a lot the other day, and no more to say. We'll see.
Okay, thank you. Did you watch the Leeds Villa game yesterday? With all
I did.
The controversy. We're asking everybody in football, but it's more relevant for you than most. What did you make of what happened?
In what part of it?
Well, let's start at the start and work our way through it. I mean, first and foremost, Villa stopping playing and Leeds going on and scoring when Jonathan Kocher was down on the deck.
Yeah, I think firstly I don't like people stopping. I think now you have to continue. So I think that's one thing. But I think what happened was that Leeds slowed down as well with the ball in a motion to almost look like they were going to kick it out. That's why I think Villa at that point were quite rightly upset, because you have that sporting moment that you kind of know they're going to kick it out. Everyone stops. As I say, I think really you should carry on until the referee says. So I understand how Villa felt that when Leeds went and scored.
Were Villa at fault for not playing to the whistle then, in your eyes?
Well, I think in the beginning, but as I say, both teams slowed down. I think a ball similar had happened just before in the game, and when we still had this thing as footballers, I think in our head when someone's injured that both teams sort of stop, but we still have a bit of an in-between moment with this one, don't we, where we continue sometimes not, but it was quite evident, I think, that Leeds also started to slow down, so that's hence why I think it became a goal the situation that it was when Bielsa directed them to let one in.
And Bielsa's had some stick for being unsporting this season with the Spygate thing, which you've been right at the centre of. But how generous was his response?
I thought
it was his decision.
I thought it was the right thing to do. Yeah, it's completely right, and
Do we need to clear this up in any way with the rules? Because, as you say, it seems to be at every level of football there's a bit of an unknown.
No, I think now the rule is quite clear. You should carry on until the ball's gone out. As I say, sometimes it's the players, and I think at both sides at that moment they both slowed down. And we've seen it occasionally, haven't we? Before, I remember Arsenal years ago, and against I think it was a cup game, Sheffield United or something, and they scored from a throw in that we didn't give back or something like that. So yeah, it happens occasionally. I think the game, so they didn't have anything on it, but thankfully it's not a game that's absolutely defining for either team. Makes the decision easier to allow them to score the goal, and something that's, I think, it's a talking point as much as anything.
Thank you, mate. That Bristol City win for you, in the context of your season and what's to come, how big?
Well, it depends on us, because we have to. We've still got work to do. But yeah, at this moment, it was a big win for us. Obviously, Bristol were there. They were a good team. It was a difficult place to go. So the run of games we've had, the position we've got ourselves in now, where it's in our hands, is a big deal for us. So yeah, it was huge. But it will only be huge if we finish the job. So we have 2 games to get enough points to make sure we try and secure that 6th position, and they're 2 very tough games. So I'm pleased with the result. I enjoyed the Saturday night, but now we're completely focused.
Have you said to the players one more win? Do you think it'll only take one more win?
No, I don't think it isn't one more win. I have to say that, and of course with our goal difference being better, it puts us in a real driving seat if we've got the 1 win. But I think on paper at the minute for me it's 4 points needed. Because it's going to be tense that last day of the season, no matter what. The good thing for us is that whatever happens, we've taken this game to West Brom at home on Sunday, which will be a great opportunity for our fans to get behind us and hopefully give us that final push.
Well, I was going to say to you, I wonder how much better it is in your minds to get the job done on Wednesday at Swansea rather than leaving it to the last day.
Oh, certainly.
It's going to be nervous either way. You get a result.
It will be nervous either way. I will certainly want that, and there's no hiding from the fact that it's a relatively big change, different, and goal difference is in our favour. But we've seen it before. Middlesbrough going away to Rotherham on the last game. It's going to be a really tough game for them, but they're capable of scoring goals. And in this championship, anything can happen. So I don't think anything should be put to bed until it officially is. That's why we've got so much work to do.
You've personally, of course, because you've always played at the top level, never had any experience of the playoffs, I don't think. Have you went on loan anywhere where you had it?
Only in the MLS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then the MLS I did.
Yeah, of course.
And don't ask me about that because it was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
We lost heavily to Toronto, but this will be something different. But it's football, and it's tense. I've loved watching playoff games. We all do. Such exciting games in the season, and I would just love to be part of the experience. To keep saying it, but when I first came here, and you'd have offered me the opportunity that we might have at this moment to get there, I would have certainly taken it. So I'm excited, but not too much, because, as I say, there's work to be done, and we need to gain those points, and so we need to work hard this week.
How are you finding the pressure of a manager at this end of the season? Because it's new for you. You've experienced it at the business end of the season when you go for major trophies as a player. Now you're experiencing a similar sort of pressure, but from the manager's point of view. How's it different?
It's more. It's more. I think you take. Well, I personally feel it's more because you take on all these responsibilities. You have a lot of thinking time during the week, and planning and preparation. And then you sort of rely on the players on the day as well from the work that you've done in the week. But yeah, I certainly think the games, in game, it's more pressure. You know, you do feel it. You don't have that. The idea as a player, you can actually affect something there and then individually. You're on the line, so a lot of your work I think goes in the prep and in the week and how you've worked with your players. And yeah, certainly you can feel the pressures ramping up at this point in the season, but that's what we're in it for. So I said to the players before Bristol City, let's not be fearful of this game. This is what we all dreamed of doing when we were younger, to play these sort of games. You've
worked with some great managers in the past, and I wonder whether you've gleaned anything from them and how they told you as a player to cope with pressure. Whether it's Mourinho, Ancelotti, whoever it was, that you expressed yourself.
For me, I don't remember the exact words, but I do always remember the fact that the club does go off the manager and the players. You know, so you can try and set an example. And in these moments, I think the calm, focus thing in the week is huge. You know, to make sure we get overexcited with ourselves because of the win at Bristol. And I try and stay calm and before the games and say the important things that I feel will matter in the game, and then it's up to the players. So yeah, if I can set an example and create a bit of an environment, you can't be under pressure 24 hours a day. You have to have down moments, but come Wednesday and again come Sunday, we have to be fully ready for the moment.
So whatever you're feeling underneath, you're exhibiting a very calm
exterior. Yeah, don't we all do that every day? I do that a lot. It's not just football, but yeah, you have to. And of course, as a manager, there's a lot of things going on in your head all the time. And I understand the seriousness of where we're at here. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for this club and for the fans and for the people of the city to try and get into the playoffs and do something that would be a little bit of history here for us. So I understand that. That's good. Again, we have to thrive on that.
Swansea, well, the pressure's off them to a certain extent. I know the way the results have been the last couple of games means they've dropped out of contention, so they'll be a bit gutted about that. But does it give them an advantage? It's their last home game as well. Do you expect them to have almost a bit of a carefree, give it a free hit at it?
Yeah, I think it's a real hard one to gauge what that will do to the nature of the game. I certainly don't think it will make them relaxed or not caring. They're professionals. As you say, the pressure coming off can sometimes benefit you in terms of freedom. They've got a very good manager. They've made a lot of progress, particularly in the back end of the season. No manager or club's going to want to throw that away, so they're going to want to keep going to the end of the season. So whatever way you look at it, it's a really tough game for us.
And a point might not be a bad result. I mean, I said this to you about Bristol City and you wouldn't have won the game, so I'm trying to back off a little bit. But does that affect your way of thinking in the sort of thing you select and the approach to the game, that actually a draw is not a bad result with the games to come?
I know I'm aware of that, but it doesn't affect my way of thinking. You know, I want to go there to set out a team to try and win. You can't really, it's difficult to do anything but that in football, particularly the way we are at the moment. You know, we have a nice run going, so we're going there to try and win the game. As I say, I know it's tough. I know a point might be a decent point for us, but first intention is to try and win.
Team news, maybe new struggling, anybody else on the verge?
No, well, Tamori picked up an injury which brought him off at the weekend, and we're trying to give him intense treatment to get him involved, but we're not sure whether the game might come too fast for that. Dwayne Holmes is back in contention for us. Still no Ashley Cole or Craig Bryson, so we're pretty similar to where we were at the weekend, except for Tamori and Holmes, question marks.
Thank you, mate.
On the Tamori thing, Frank, if he's not right for Wednesday, how big a blow will that be to you?
Well, it's a big blow because he's a big player for us and has been our player of the year. That's voted by the fans and the club supporters groups, and quite rightly so. There were players contending him for that, but he's had a great season. But it happens, and one great thing that he's brought out is that George Evans came on, played at centre back and was man of the match in my opinion. So every cloud has a silver lining. It gave George an opportunity, and he certainly took it.
How much satisfaction do you take from the resilience that the team showed on Saturday? Just watch the highlights and Bristol back, relentless pressure.
Battering it, you can say.
It was literally like chance after chance.
Yeah, no, there was. That's good.
They withstood that pressure.
They did.
They came away with a point.
They did, and sometimes people can easily talk about luck in football. I believe you make your own luck, and I believe sometimes good defending is good defending, whether it's Keller Roos or Martin Waghorn heading off the line, etc. There've also been games where we have been the other side of that. Really attacking teams at home, hitting the post, having saves made against us. So you have to understand that. And the other thing is we actually created chances to probably score 4 or 5 ourselves, really good chances, possibly better than some of their chances. So they gave us a really good game. Yeah, we were under pressure, but I like to see the other side of the team sometimes, and they putting your body on the line is part of football.
You talked about the pressure and how you feeling that sort of ramping up at this point in the season. Do you enjoy that kind of pressure, or is it just something you think, I've got to deal with this is my job?
It's great. I mean, we were standing outside there on a training pitch with sun started to come out. The players have come off the back of a good win. The potential this week to try and push to get into the playoffs. This is what we're here for. This is what we're here. So yeah, I do. Listen, sometimes the pressure is difficult. In games you get tense when you're preparing. You want to get everything right. That can be stressful or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, it's what we're here for. And if we can get this team squad into the playoffs, and I think it'll be a really good achievement from the players themselves, and then we would have to go again. But it's a big if because there are 2 games in our way.